And I've been arguing to Democrats that in this next election, we are not going to be able to mobilize our voters to get the old world back. Because the way that I've been describing this is that, we had the old world, the status quo world that we had up until election day that just didn't work for most people. It was status quo. The rules felt like they were rigged. The institutions felt like they were old and clunky and weren't actually meeting the needs of people. And what we saw on election day, Doctor, was that Republicans and frankly, some Democrats voted to burn that world down. They did not want it anymore. The world that we are now seeing, that we're living in, is a world that's being forged by MAGA, this Project 2025 world where the old rules don't apply, the old institutions don't apply, the old Constitution even does not apply. That's why we see them moving with such brazen authority, because they are moving towards a world to forge the world as they see it. And I've been arguing to Democrats that in this next election, we are not going to be able to mobilize our voters to get the old world back. They don't want to restore those norms. They don't want to restore those rules, even though they felt safer than where we are today. But we can mobilize our voters. And frankly, I believe we can mobilize a lot of Republican voters to build a new, better world where we can reimagine the rules, where we get, and some of this takes political imagination, Doctor, that's frankly been hard for me to pull out in focus groups because people can't imagine something that we've never seen. But we can live in a world where there's not big money in politics, where our campaigns are publicly financed. We can live in a world where the person that gets the most votes wins, and there is no more electoral college. We can live in a world where redistricting happens at a national level based on national census and is not up to political factions within each state to pick their voters, and instead allow voters to pick their leaders. We can live in this world, and I know we can because Donald Trump has already done a lot of the work of burning down the old world. But the new world is going to take imagination and courage, and frankly, it's going to take leadership, because it's going to be hard, it's going to be scary getting there. But I think we can mobilize a multiracial, multi-generational, older people, younger people, Black, white, Latino, API to forge a world where the rules finally work for all of us.